to the man first. Well, you don't tell God where to go.
I know that's right.
Amen.
He dealt with the serpent. He's dealing with the woman. And the Bible even says in 1 Timothy 2, she shall be saved in childbearing.
That's right.
If.
Yes, sir. That's the book.
So, the woman has her role assigned by God.
Yes, sir.
Keep reading. And your desire
Shall be to thy husband.
shall be to your husband.
And he shall rule over thee.
And God said to this woman, this is your role. Your husband will be your head. Now, some people don't like this today.
Well.
But that's what God said.
Yes, sir.
He shall rule over thee. Keep that in mind now. Childbearing and submissive to your head. And then we're going to see how that's regulated in Ephesians 5.
All right.
But that's the role. Now he comes to the main culprit.
Well.
The main culprit. I was at a meeting somewhere in North Carolina a few years ago, and I had spoken on Adam and Eve being the first people. Adam was the first man, and I was emphasizing the role of the man in that particular meeting, and women and men were in that meeting. And then when I finished, we dismissed for the men to leave, and the ladies were going to have a session where a lady was going to address them, and that's certainly scriptural. Nothing wrong with that. Women teaching women. Nothing wrong with that. But what they didn't know is that in the lobby of that big church building, that we could hear what was going on in there. And I had been talking about Adam, the first man, and so the lady very kindly said, she said, now Brother Evans was saying that Adam was the first man. Said, that's right. God made Adam as the first man, and then God had a better idea.
Wow.
And that's right. That's right. Because one thing, what you're getting here, is not that woman is inferior to man.
I know you're right.
It is not that man is superior to woman. It is simply saying the woman has her role and the man has his role.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Just like my children. I had 3 sons, and when they were growing up, and you know the same thing if you have several children, you would give them chores. As you leave, you tell this one to do that. I want you to cut the grass. You tell the boys, I want the girls, I want you to clean the house. I want you to do this. I want you to do that. That didn't mean any of them are superior to the other. You are still their mother or father when you give them chores. Now, when I get back, and you know how all of us hated to see parents come back when we didn't do what they told us.
Well.
And they'll tell you, and some stern parents would tell you. Now, when I get back, if this place is looking like this, when I get back, we're going to have a talk. So that's the only time you hate to see mama come home. Because when you know you haven't done what you were told.
Wow.
I had an older sister who wanted to, really, and some of you have had this too, wanted to act like she's your mama when the mother's not there.
I know that's right.
Can anybody testify?
Wow.
They're going to discipline you and act just like the mom. Well, my older sister had heard my mother say, and we heard all those years, if we would dispute, if we would say it, if my mother would say something, and we say, no, it wasn't like that, she would say, well, I guess I'm lying.
I know that's right.
And so my sister thought she would pull that on the little boy she was keeping. The little boy said something, rather she said something, and the little boy said, no, it wasn't like that. And so my sister thought she would act like mom. Well, I guess I'm lying. The little boy said, well, I guess you are.
Well.
Now listen, let me tell you one thing. You can deal with your own children, and out of respect, they may not say that, but you can't tell any child and treat that person like he's your child. So here it is that God set the role. And not only did he set the role, but he put the parents in charge of the children.
All right.
That didn't mean that the parents were superior or even the children inferior. God set that role. And when you get into the New Testament, children, obey whom? Your parents. That your days may be long upon the earth.
Well.
So here it is that now he comes to Adam.
All right.
He's told the serpent, you're going to crawl the rest of your life. He's told the woman, you're going to bring forth the children, but in sorrow, in pain, because of what happened here, in that you listened to that snake, that serpent, rather than to me. And then he says to Adam, what?
And unto Adam he said,
unto Adam he said,
because thou hast hearkened,
because you have hearkened
unto the voice of thy wife,
you listen to your wife, you
and
said.
thou hast eaten of the tree.
Just one moment, let me get this part. You listen to your wife.
All right, preacher.
Now that doesn't mean that the wife is always wrong. And that's not even what he's saying here. But that was in an evil way in which Eve influenced him.
Yes, sir.
And Christian wives don't do it like that. They recognize that marriage is a partnership.
Well.
And men understand that their wives have good minds and are just as intelligent as they are.
I know that.
And
right.
they treat them that way.
Well.
When you get into the New Testament, husbands, love your wives
that's the book.
even as Christ also loved the church. So you don't have a problem getting Christian wives to understand what the Bible is saying. Only women who want no kind of control whatever will say Paul was a male chauvinist pig.
Well.
He was just against women. Paul was not against women. Paul just had to say what God told him.
Yes, sir. No question.
And so here it is that God says now, Adam, because you listen to your wife rather than me, I'm going to tell you your role. What is it? Read.
Thou shalt have eaten of the tree of which I have commanded.
All right,
thee,
you
saying,
partook of the
thou
tree.
shalt not eat of it.
All right, read.
Cursed is the ground for thy sake.
Cursed is the ground for your sake. Read.
In sorrow
In sorrow
shalt thou eat of it
will you eat of it
all the days of thy life.
all the days of your life.
Thorns also
Thorns also,
and thistles
thistles
shall it bring forth to thee.
shall it bring forth to thee.
And thou shalt eat the herbs
Thou
of
shalt
the field.
eat the herbs of the field.
In the sweat of thy face
He said you're going to have to work.
shalt thou eat.
Now you were here in the garden, you were blessed. And all you have to do was just obey my command.
Yes, sir.
Now you're going to have to sweat it out.
Yes, sir. In the sweat of thy face
In the sweat of your face,
thou shalt eat bread
you're going to eat bread.
till thou return unto the ground.
In other words, if you want to live, you're going to have to work. And you, what else?
And it shall return unto the ground, for out of it wast thou taken.
You came from the ground,
And dust thou art.
and you're going,
And unto dust thou shalt
you're going right back to the ground. God said, I made you. I took you from the ground. I'm going to send you right back to the ground.
Well.
And while you're here between grounds,
Well.
you have to work and take care of your family.
Yes, sir.
That's coming from God. I'm going to send you back. Like one sister said to her, one mother said to her child who was trying to be smart with her. She said, son, listen, I brought you into this world.
Well.
And Lord knows I will take you out. Christian parents who rear their children and discipline their children will tell their children, don't take love that I have for you for weakness.
All right.
Some people don't understand that. Some people take friendliness for weakness. And so parents know how to deal with their children. And you know what the book says in Psalm 103 and verse 13? As a father pitieth his children,
Yes, sir.
so the Lord pities those who fear him.
All right.
For he knoweth our